Hello all. Watched Glass Onion last night, the sequel to Knives Out. Quick qualifier, Knives Out didn't really rock my world. It was okay, but it was blindingly obvious who'd committed the crime, and I never really found it that funny. Maybe it's just my sense of humour. This one is of a similar vein, and I'm gonna be quite sparing with what I say because obviously it's a whodunit, and the less you know the better really. But quick précis, Detective Benoit Blanc arrives on an island with a bunch of rich people and crime ensues. First thing I'll say is that everyone really seemed to be hamming it up, or most of them did, and I found that a bit irritating, especially in the first, I'd say 2/3 of the film, and it's quite a long film. I don't remember Benoit Blanc being quite so idiosyncratic. He feels like he's been borrowed from Poirot. I don't remember him being like this in the first film. As I say, most people are kind of overacting, intentionally I'm sure, so I found it a bit annoying to start with. I think the only one that it really works for is Kate Hudson, because she just does it beautifully. She's kind of understated while she's doing the over-the-top stuff, and she's probably the only one I found funny in this, and her character's over the top anyway, so it kind of suits the character. But Catherine Hahn I just didn't find funny. Dave Bautista was just Dave Bautista. Jessica Henwick was fine, as was Janelle Monáe. Edward Norton, again, I just found him a bit irritating. Leslie Odom Jr. probably wasn't hamming it up as much as everybody else. He was probably one of the few kind of levels. Even Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc was hamming it up a bit. But for me, it really kind of settled down after the first 2/3. And that's when the story really started taking off and when it became a better film for me. Took way longer to get there than it really needed to. I had a teacher once who said that there was a difference between a play and playing. And let's just say the cast seemed to be having a good time. I've watched quite a few whodunits as well. Not many for a while, because this is obviously an old genre. But there seemed to be a lot of holes. Not necessarily plot holes, because with most stories there have to be conveniences that happen to make things work. But when you're doing a whodunit, part of the fun is to try and guess who it is. And there's massive chunks of the story just not shown to misdirect. You know, there's conversations you don't see even though the conversation's going on in the room. It's difficult to explain without giving something away, so I can't really. I got to the end of it and I thought, well, you edited most of that conversation out of your film. And that felt like cheating. Maybe that's just me. As I say, it's quite long, over 2 hours long. There are some funny moments in it, but they're usually when people aren't trying to be funny, so they're a bit more situational. It looks lovely, it's well directed, some snappy dialogue in there, but overall I probably would say I enjoyed it. I'd probably recommend it, especially if you enjoyed the first one, then you're going to enjoy this one. And I think I'll probably leave it there because whilst I could go on, I would probably give way too much away. I'm already having to self-edit as I'm speaking to avoid doing that. So thanks very much for listening. Like and subscribe, and my comic is available from my website. The link is in the description below. And peace out.